Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
For those of you who remembered, it is Cat Day today. Suitably appropriate. Please, those of you who brought hats, don them. Right. The only other stricture as we move forward is that those of us who've been stupid enough to bring hats have got to wear them when they do their 60 seconds. Other than that,
Well, at least you're not going to look silly on YouTube. So.
But we can live with that. Yes. So, thank you all those who remembered. Actually, Scott will tell you that those of you who didn't remember to bring along, they will get bonus points this week. So there you go. Well done.
We're having points. Agreed, everyone?
Oh, it is 4.
Yeah. Thanks to those of you who remembered. On a only slightly more serious note, Clara isn't with us today, but her super self Shannon is here. Welcome, Shannon. I hope you enjoy the meeting. Right. With that in mind, let's move on with the meeting. I'm assisted by, one other thing to mention. Ryan, welcome back from your holiday. Last week, everybody but you was here. Significantly, you're here today and not everybody else is here, but there you go. Right, but let's get on with the meeting now. The meeting starts with the Performance League, but before we do, leadership team, please be upstanding, introduce yourselves, we all know who you are and what you do.
Good morning, I'm Brian, Social Secretary.
Morning, I'm Tina and I'm subbing for Riggs.
Good morning, guys, Ben, Education Coordinator.
Good morning, I'm Scott, your meeting secretary, and also, of course, the handsome face of Clive Chat.
It doesn't matter how many times you say it.
Well,
we will see you.
This week we had an inquiry come through. I can't remember the person who did, but somebody who was keen to come along, and I couldn't field it, I was just too busy. I passed it across to Aidan, and he delighted in the fact that he could represent the ugly face of. That's what he said.
They were my words. Right, so let's get on with the meeting now. Actually, you sat down, Scott, you can stand up. Performance League first.
Right, so you'll know what this is. It's our measure of contribution. We all score points for doing simple things like turning up, passing referrals, commenting on the blog, etc., etc. Now there has been some issue with logging into the V-forms. It's odd, there's nothing technically wrong with it. There's I don't know what it is. If you don't
use it,
but I can only, of course, put the complete lack of any contribution by anybody down to that obvious issue with logging in. It can't possibly be anything other than that. It's what I'm saying to myself. So last week, the only people that put figures in were me and Terry.
Oh.
And we're a week behind, always, on this. But there's nothing showing on here. So there must have been some real trouble with people logging in. If you do have troubles, give me a shout, send me a WhatsApp or whatever, and I can help.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
money's
fixing going on.
Monies. If you've commented on the blog, you've still got your points, but actually on the giving and receiving of money, you've thanked me for something.
Yeah.
There we go. I'll pass that round and just sit down and
That's the conference.
the only thing I print each week is that.
You will be impressed to know that I managed to log on and leave a couple of things yesterday, so if I can do it, I'm glad that everybody else can. Right, next up, oh yes, but Scott, don't get too excited. The performance lead, you were going to tell us who's in the lead.
Of the performance league so far. Matthew?
Wow!
That's
Wow, I suddenly jumped up. I'm going to go a little bit different. In fourth place, we have Blake. With 40 points. We have in third place Scott with 80 points. Paul Booth is second with 90 points. But setting the benchmark and the person that we should all be following, James Stallion, also known as Malian, with 121 points.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed for that. Right. Okay, the education slot next. Ben?
Thank you very much. Well, good morning, everybody. So, are you talking to people in the right language? So, are you talking to your clients in the right language? Now, I'm not talking about whether you're going to be talking English, Spanish, Italian, French. I'm talking, are you talking to your clients in the right personality language for their time? Now, I follow a guy called Tom Big Al Schrouder, which is a very motivational speaker and really good for people within my industry. However, he's broken down people's personality types into 4 different colours. Now, there's loads of different analogies for this, but we're going to use colours today. Now, most people might be a mixture between 1, 2, or maybe even 3 colours, but they will always have one dominating colour. And if you can identify that with people while you're speaking to your clients, it might help you to maybe close the deal, speak in their language, maybe try and understand their needs a lot more. So the 4 colours are yellow, blue, red and green. So if I was to maybe talking to Rosemary, I would say Rosemary is quite a yellow personality. So yellow personalities maybe are people that are very caring, maybe encouraging, really like patient and supportive as well. So I would say that is the yellow personality. The blue personality, I would say would probably be Tina there, because Tina's very into social, very enthusiastic, excited, motivates and inspires, but likes fun there as well. So if you're looking for somebody that's so for me, for example, I do have a bit of a blue side there. So if you're talking about the excitement and the enjoyment out of things. Now, if you're going to talk to somebody who's a red personality, I would say like Stuart, Scott. I would say these are quite red personalities there. Now, red personalities you can tell because they are quite competitive. Handsome faces of live chat, obviously. But they're determined, strong-willed, focus on getting results, likes a challenge, but also takes charge of situations. So that is somebody that I would say is somebody that you would be quite direct with. And then finally, you have the greens. Now, I have no green in me at all, I'm afraid, but somebody like Paul would be green, I would say, who's very maybe analytical, focuses on facts and figures, maybe a little bit cautious, and best friend is a spreadsheet. So who loves the details of things like that. So if you're going to be talking to Paul to get Paul as a client, you might want to go down the detailed side, so he gives Paul all the information. So if you can identify the colour or the colour personality of your client and talk to them in their correct language, it might just help seal the deal. So whether they're red, green, yellow or blue, speak to them in their language. But I hope that helps. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ben. Actually, that's great as a blogger. Got a whole paper run on that one. Right, that's good. Before we get on to colour palettes, let me pass round the business card box. Business cards in there, make sure you're adequately represented, make sure you take out cards that will help you make referrals. That said, whilst that's going round, I'll also send that round, stick in your bits of paper please for that, so that we can assess it at the end of the meeting. that leaves us with the 60-second round, the first major part of the meeting, when you all get a chance to, in 60 seconds, tell us about your business. It is only 60 seconds. We don't have the watchful eye of Vince. We have Tina. Now, in the light of the fact that in cricket we've stopped batsmen being batsmen, and because women play cricket it's batters, then Bellman turns to be a Bella, or anyway, Tina. Something with ER on the end. That's Tina. Blake won the Oscar. He's been looking after it all week, and he's here to award it. He will listen very carefully, and at the end of the 60 seconds, we'll make the award. Now, with that in mind, we want to just get it going. So to get it going, Blake will go first. He will be followed by Matt. Let's get the round on the way. Blake.
Morning everybody, I'm Blake from Ammo Hive, your go-to airsoft and outdoor supply store. Wearing merch today. Christmas is coming, buy them. Leave loads of sales, very comfy, loads of pockets, even Velcro. Even kids who want to play with Velcro. Not a lot to say this week because I can't win the Oscar. So. But I will be watching keenly. Don't forget my hat is custom, man. Yeah, Christmas is coming. Buy loads from my store. Thank you. Blake from Ammo Hive.
Maybe the wall and Father Christmas has to be fine. Thanks very much, Blake. Matt, you're next, followed by Brian.
Good morning everyone, Matt Barry from Blue Seraph. We have been working very hard over the last week on a quite interesting presentation for Brentwood Council. They've got a big conference in a week's time where they're going to be talking about the state of the nation's houses and how councils can help each other get to that net zero level at 2050. It's a huge task, and there's a lot of councils sticking their heads in the sand, and they're really raising the issue. So it's been really nice to do this sort of kind of hard-hitting 3-minute video that's a bit shocking, but also the presentation. They've got a panel of experts that are going to be talking, and we're doing all the graphics and things that sort of sit behind them. So if you know anyone that works at local authorities, you think they need their branding, their creative work upped into something a little bit more eye-catching and engaging, please put them in my way, please.
Thank you, Matt. Brian, you're followed by Rosemary.
Morning everybody, Brian, 18th therapist, computer therapy. Nice to be back. Can I say, none of you look a day older than when I was last here. I came back to the busiest 7 days I've had of the whole of this year. Mainly smokers, phobias, a lot of phobias, particularly public speaking, and also panic attacks. So I'd like the same again, please, so that I can start to earn some money to pay for the holiday. Thank you. Brian Page, the therapist. Help is just a phone call away. Thank you. And I beat the 60 seconds. Made up for that, didn't you?
Brian, I've got a request for going forward. Could we have something on vaping next week, please? Anyway,
Yeah.
if you get them,
Yeah.
tell us about it. Brian, that's Brian. Rosemary's next, followed by Mrs. Skinner.
Morning everyone, hope you all have a good week. I'd like to point out that I book all your favourite tour operators, including Jet2, TUI, EasyJet, all of those. So why book with me rather than online? With many tour operators, I get price parity, so it won't cost you any more to come through me. But I do all your check-in, I email the hotels, I make sure it's there when you get there. So it's really about the service that I provide. So if anyone's thinking of booking a holiday, please contact me. It doesn't cost you anything, and I'll be happy to help you. That's Rosemary from Travel Councillors. Thank you.
Thank you, Brentwood. Mike Skinner is followed by Ben.
Technically, I didn't actually remember to bring a silly hat. It's just I've got a bad choice in clothing. Morning, Olivia. I just want to run through some of the importance of video marketing for promoting SMEs in our local area. So firstly, videos are incredibly engaging. People are naturally drawn to visual content, so by incorporating videos into your marketing, you can captivate potential customers, showcase your products and services in a memorable way. Secondly, videos humanise your brand. By showing stories, showcasing team members, offering behind-the-scenes glimpses of the company, creates a sense of trust and reliability. It also personalises your business and helps establish an emotional connection with your target audience. Moreover, video marketing boosts your online visibility. A well-optimised video can improve your search engine rankings, which works well with what Scott does, drive more traffic to your website, and ultimately increasing your customer base. So if you know anyone who wants to increase their customer base or get more information out there about their business, please send them my way. It's Mike at Brentwood Media. Thank you.
Thanks, Jane.
You're next, and then you're followed by Shannon.
Good morning, guys. Ben Building from Utility Warehouse, and I help people to save money on their essential household utilities with the cheapest energy available in the UK, great bundles on our broadband and mobile, and boiler and home emergency cover. So picture the scene. It's November, it's getting cold, it's dark, you want to feel snug and cosy, you go to turn your heating on, and bang! The boiler's blown. We've got no heating at all. So the good news is you do not have to worry because you have taken out the UW boiler cover, so they come straight out to fix it. So, which incidentally, for customers joining this month, is half price for 3 months. So better get in quick. So this week I'm looking for people you know that want to save money with the UK's cheapest and most trusted utility company, and those that want to have the peace of mind to just in case anything goes wrong. That's Ben Golding, Utility Warehouse.
Starting off with a bang. Excellent. Shannon.
What do you have to
Hi everyone, I'm Shannon Savage from Downton Mortgages and Financial Services. So we help people with their mortgages and help them keep their home as well. So I thought I would read a review from a client. It says, I can't describe how grateful I have been for the service offered by Downton Mortgages and Financial Services. Both Clara and Shannon have gone above and beyond to ensure the property buying process was as smooth as possible for us. Every step is done in a structured way from start to end, and we had a glitch with the lender, but Clara was there to process it and not delay with the suggestions that she had for them. We even got a greeting card at our new home from them. The personal touch is priceless. Strongly recommend them. So just a reminder, we do mortgages, equity release, that's product transfers, remortgages, and I can also help people with their buildings, contents insurance, landlord's insurance, and also their mortgage protection. And Shannon Savage, Downton Mortgages. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shannon. Next up is John Hammond. He's followed by Melissa.
Good morning, everybody. I'm John Hammond from JMH Technology. We can supply all your electronic security needs. What I want to talk today about is intruder alarm. We use the Ajax system intruder alarm, and this is a great system because not only do you have an intruder alarm that rings bells, but you can actually get snapshots of pictures of people who have broken in. But on the new system, you can also get live photos as well, and it's not video, it is photos when you're on your mobile phone. But you can get a snapshot of where they're going and where they're walking around your building. So you can call the police from your mobile phone and tell them you've got someone in the premises, and it all alerts to your mobile phone. You can also put it onto your family and friends so that they can have the app as well, so when you're away, you've got someone local. But the other big advantage of the Ajax system, it's portable. We can actually put it into temporary accommodation. So if you've got business units you're about to rent out and nothing else in, we can install it very, very quickly because it's a wireless system. So if you need an intruder alarm and you want peace of mind, call us. John Hammond from JMH Technology, applying technology to security.
Thank you very much, John. Melissa, you're next, followed by Stuart.
Good morning, everyone. everybody. Melissa Jackson, Kemba Francis, licensed insolvency practitioner. As you all know, I deal with a lot of insolvent businesses, and you will all remember that bounce back loans were available during COVID times. A lot of people took the bounce back loans, and what we're finding with a lot of insolvent businesses is that they're not able to repay it. The question I'm often asked is, am I going to be made personally liable for this bounce back loan? Is it going to be an issue for me as a director? The answer in most cases is no, but the issue arises when the bounce back loan is being misused. So you've had this money in from the government, thank you very much, to support my business, and I'll go and do an extension with it, or I'll go and buy a new car. That's really not for the purpose of the business. And then somebody like me might come along and say, you need to repay that money. So if you know of anybody who has potentially got an insolvent business, they've got a bounce back loan, and they want to get some direction as to personal liability, then please put them in contact with me. That's Melissa Jackson, Kemba Francis, licensed insolvency practitioner.
Thank you, Melissa. Stuart, you're followed by Leanne.
Good morning, everybody. It's Stuart from LG Networks. So we deal with business telecommunications. One of the advantages our clients have when they use us is that we deal with BT Openreach for them. The big disadvantage with that means we have to deal with BT Openreach. This week alone, I've had 4 Openreach appointments, and I've had 100% failure on every single one. One, they said the customer wasn't present. It was a shop front, which is open 6 days a week between 8:30 and 5:30, and they said the customer wasn't present. Absolutely rubbish. The other one was a timber yard, about the size of the average Travis Perkins, and they said they couldn't find it on Leighton High Street. Absolute rubbish. Now, those customers will get a missed appointment charge for not being available for when Openreach didn't turn up. We will fight that on their behalf, and we will get those charges credited. The point is, if you weren't coming through someone like us, you have to do that yourselves. So that's something that we include as part of our service, is just managing Openreach, which is the bane of my life, but a very important part of what we do. So if you know someone that's fed up with BT, wants to come through us, please put us in touch. Stuart at LG Networks. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Leanne, you're followed by David.
Good morning everyone, Leanne from Brentwood Interiors, and I help you create beautiful homes. Not just that, if you know someone that's buying a new home and they've suddenly decided new home, new life, they want all new furniture for their new property, put them in touch with me. I've helped a couple of people now source furniture to fit their new property because they've downsized, so what they've got doesn't fit anymore. I can also help property developers with staging and putting together brochures to display what their potential apartment's going to be. So not only do I help homeowners, I help property developers and people buying new properties. So if you know anyone that wants some help, please put them in touch with me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leanne. David, you're followed by Scott.
Morning everybody, David Roberts from Brentwood. We're NRC, ERC British Electricians in Brentwood. Carry out all forms of electrical work, that's domestic and commercial and industrial. A really good referral for me would be someone who needs electrical testing done. I did touch on this last week. So homeowners need a report done before they move in. Landlords who need a safety check done. Offices, we did a 5-year assessment for insurance purposes, or even fault finding. This week we went out for a regular customer that's having problems with the circuit tripping. Some electricians been down there before, couldn't identify what the fault was. We went down there, identified it was an overload on one of the circuits, managed to split the circuit, and there were no problems since. So any referrals for electrical testing, please put my way. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Scott, you're followed by Howard.
These stupid hats, that's great. Didn't even wear a matching cactus shirt to go with the. There we go.
You don't get bonus points, you know?
No, I know. But on the theme of hats, I thought I would follow it through to my 60 seconds. In my industry, there really is a thing about hats. If you are a black hat SEO consultant, you practice dodgy, dark techniques. Your methodology is about how to cheat Google and how to do things and take advantage and sneak around the edges and potentially do negative work against your competitors so that you can outrank them. We have a white hat, on the other hand, Go on, it's a bit tight. Everyone's following that one. If you wear a white hat, you are practicing best practice. You're following Google's guidelines and doing things properly and winning by doing it right. If I'm being totally honest, my hat should probably be light grey. I do a little bit of that because you have to make things work, but mostly I'm a white hat SEO.
Thank you very much, Scott. Sort of with the S spot, really, isn't it? Right, that's Scott. Howard's next, followed by Jane.
Howard Will from Clear Financial Advice, we're an independent financial advisor based in Brentwood. Over the last few months, I've been mentioning we're doing quite a lot of inheritance tax planning, which has been quite complicated, but quite a lot of fun. Quite interesting to keep moving into that. But this week, I've got a brand new client, and it was all nice and basic. It was some new money into an ISA and some new pension. All very vanilla, all very straightforward. I quite like it after all the complications we've going for the last month or so. So that's what I like, some more basic stuff. If you come across someone who's never had a pension before, especially if they're self-employed, then please get in touch with me and put me on the right track. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard. Jane, you're followed by Tina.
Hello everybody, Auntie Jane, masquerading as an air hostess, I think. Size can matter. Sorry guys, sorry everybody, but it can be important. And this is the size of our Christmas chocolate brownie. It's 33 to 34 centimetres long. You won't be able to see from there, but it's a big tree shape, even with the base, and it's a lovely gift, particularly for a teen or a very greedy person. We're suggesting ditch the Christmas cake if you don't like that, or even the Christmas pudding if that's too fruity for you. Let's go chocolate. You can keep it in the freezer and keep cutting away at it. Don't do what one man did, which is kept it on a radiator by his TV chair for 8 months and phoned me up and said it had gone furry, and why was that? Not what we recommend, but I'm saying order now please, because actually it takes a lot of baking to make masses of these, and one company ordered 200. That's a lot of brownie. Thank you.
Well done, Jane. Brownie points for that. Tina, you're next, and you're followed by me.
Good morning everybody, my name's Tina Walker, my company's called Liberty Executive Services. I'm looking for people that are dreading going in their office because there's piles of papers or piles of files, there's reports that they're doing, but they're afraid to open the door because they haven't got a hard hat. You know what I mean? So if you know anybody that needs any help, pass my details and I'll be happy to. So it's me, Tina, Liberty Executive Services. I'm not 9 to 5, I'm starting to finish.
Thank you very much. Right, I'll wear the hat then just to show that I'm in with it. Right, Aidan Spartan, TM Law. I'm going to educate you today. It's all about legislation. I know you like to hear about legislation. Well, this is the Workers' Predictable Terms and Conditions Bill, which has just received the Royal Assent. It gives individuals, particularly 0 hours contractors, the right to get more predictable terms and conditions. They can ask their employer, and the employer's got to get back to them in a month with an answer. And ACAS are currently working up a code of conduct. Is that all? Well, let's put it in context. Recent workers' rights have been extended. Tips and gratuities must now be paid in full. Pregnant women and new parents get protection with redundancy. Unpaid carers get a right to unpaid leave. And rights over flexible working are coming in. It's easy to see where this is going, and it's easy to be cynical about the government introducing this, but it does mean it's a grown-up approach to employer-employee relationships. It's a shame we've got to legislate to do that. That's Aidan Spartan from TM Law. And last, but definitely by no means least, is Paul Booth.
Morning, Paul Booth from Booth Clay Chartered Certified Accountants based in Brentwood. I saw an existing client yesterday, husband and wife, and she had just inherited some properties in London and some cash from her dad, value about £600,000, and she'd been getting lots of informal advice from her family. Oh, you've got to put it into a trust, you've got to put it into a limited company, all of that. And we went through each scenario and we decided that it would be better just to keep it in her personal name, keep the charges low, wouldn't be any issues with inheritance tax, helpful in terms of capital gains tax should they have decided to sell any properties. So yeah, that's the type of thing we can do. We can advise on obviously tax, inheritance tax, capital gains, and how it all sort of works into one package. That all goes from Boom Co. Minimise tax, maximise wealth.
Thank you very much, Paul. That represents the various offerings from the members. Over to Blake for the award of the Oscar, please.
Well, there's 3 people that have been put down. Very short 60 seconds this week, not many people got dinged. Stuart, you're not getting it again because you spoke about Openreach. Last time you got it because you spoke about Openreach, and I do hate Openreach. But you're not getting it again. Jane, definitely don't want fairy chocolate. But definitely interested in chocolate. Scott, everyone more on the side of the 50 Shades of Grey. Definitely on the darker side of the Shades of Grey, I think. But I can't give it to you because it would look like favouritism because I give you that to you, of course. So, I can't give it to you as favouritism as well. I think it's going to have to go to Jane because Stuart got it last time. It's favouritism, and I don't want fairy chocolate.
Thank you very much, Blake. Well done, Jane. That's the end of the 60 seconds round, and that leads us into Scott, the meeting secretary's report.
I kind of said what I wanted to say earlier, I think, about access to V-forms and making sure you're logging everything. Nothing else really to report.
Thanks, Scott. There was a synergy team meeting on Tuesday. Paul?
Yeah, there was. Only 4 of us, but it was a good meeting. Had some nice conversations. Always the second Tuesday of each month. Next month will be the last formal meeting of the year, so I'll send out a normal invite and look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you, Paul. Right, Ben. It is the 10-minute presentation. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Well, before I introduce today's speaker, give you an update for the upcoming week's speakers. So, next week on the 19th of October, Leanne will be giving us her 10 minutes and the education provided by Vince. On the 26th, Jane will be doing the 10 minutes, hopefully giving out lots of brownies, and the education provided by Nick. Going into November, Terry, providing he's COVID-free, will be doing his 10 minutes on the 2nd, and I'll be doing the education slot. And finally, on the 9th of November, Stuart, we've got you down to do the 10 minutes again on the 9th. And Toby will be doing the ed slot that day. Now, I have done the 10-minute schedule up to March now, so if you want to know when your next one is, come and give me a shout and I'll let you know. And if you can't do your 10 minutes of ed slot for whatever reason, please let me know and I'll do my best to try and swap things around. And please remember that it is 8 minutes for presentation, 2 minutes for questions. And please go to the EBS website to give me your bio sheet, which today's speaker did. Because today we have Mr. Howard Bullock from Clear Financial Advice, which is the founder, the CEO, the CFO, the CIO, the C3PO. So based in and works in Billericay, Essex and Kidderminster. Okay, and so a couple of bits about Howard. So something that Howard admires in others is humility, courage and ridiculous socks. There you go, we'll have to get ridiculous. So how he relaxes, very, very Howard is laughing at the misfortune of others. There, a favourite quote is, age is not important unless you're a cheese. And finally, favourite music, the music of love and jungle. So, please put your hands together for Mr. Howard Bullock.
Thank you. About 2 months ago, I sat before a brand new client. She was investing 3 different IFA firms. And she asked me, oh, why should I use you? And I gave my usual reply of a small boutique firm. So our clients are really important to us. We can't afford to upset them, the lifeblood of the business. And it worked. She became a client, which is great. But when I was driving home, I was a bit uninspired by my answer. I thought people deserve to hear a bit more than that, something that's a little less obvious. I've been thinking about it ever since. So I'm going to try and cover that off today, along with why you should use a financial advisor. But first, because we've got a couple of new bodies in the room, a little bit about me. I'm married to Tracy. We've got 2 kids, Lily and Hugo, and a dog and a horse. So I have no money left for myself. Of course, if you want to lose, if you've got too much money and you want to lose it, just give it all away. Get yourself a horse. I started my career on the Financial Futures Exchange. I was a trader for about 12 years, the guy wearing the funny coloured jackets and screaming and shouting. It took about 3 years to learn how to shout properly. If the market kicked off, I would go hoarse and the voice would just disappear very quickly. But eventually it developed and I got louder and louder. And yeah, that's good fun. About halfway through my career on the life floor, I disappeared backpacking for a year. I went around the world, had a lot of fun. I then came back and got back to work again. The market closed in back in the 99, and I kind of fell into this by accident, really. But I kind of got to grips with it, started enjoying it, and set my own firm up in 2006. We've got a small team. There's myself and Paul, the other advisor. He's very, very good. And we've got 3 admin staff: Caroline, my office manager; Mandy, who does the basic day-to-day admin; and Kaylee, who's my paraplanner, who's kind of like, think of like a paralegal, someone that does all the behind-the-scenes work to make me look good in front of the clients. She's great, and we're a good team. We all get on well. The office has a nice atmosphere, and the girls especially seem to enjoy working there. Seem to, maybe they're just typical a bit, I don't know. But in terms of what we do almost everything to do with financial planning. The 2 areas we don't get involved in is anything to do with borrowing and general insurance. Obviously, you're covered by our learning friend James. We do some types of insurance, things we term as protection. So that's life cover, critical illness cover, income protection, things that are going to cover you or your family or your business should you become seriously ill or worse. That's what protection does. It gives that financial support that's really, really needed. And obviously, we get involved in investments and retirement planning. That's the bulk of what we do. Whether it's putting new money into those investments or pensions, or refining and tinkering what's already there. And we're doing more and more inheritance tax planning, which you've heard me talk about quite a lot recently. If you look at those sheets, the top sheet you've got in front of you, this tries to kind of demonstrate the value we bring to clients, the areas where we help them. The blue area, that's kind of like our interaction with the client. The meetings we have, setting goals up, what are they trying to achieve, trying to prioritize those, because some of those goals are really vital and some are just like nice to have rather than things that clients really need. So that's quite an important area. Assessing the client's risk, how do they want their investment to behave? That can be a large part of when are they going to use that money. Is it going to be in 20, 40 years time when they retire, or is it going to be in 3 years time? That will have a big bearing on how that money should behave and what should be invested in. The red areas are kind of like the nuts and bolts of what we do. If we talk about an investment or a pension, the asset allocation, how much goes into equities, how much goes into other asset classes, that's going to help predict what that behaviour might be of the investment, the volatility, the swings and the roundabouts. The other colours on there, the brown, the green, the orange, they're kind of like the other peripheral bits that aren't so obvious to clients. But I would say maybe even more valuable than the other areas we've discussed. Tax planning isn't just making the investment tax efficient, by say putting something to an ISA. if there's a change in legislation, for example, say like the Chancellor's budget, we might be in contact with clients if there's something that's going to affect them. You don't often get things that are going to adversely affect a client, because quite often if the government does that, they bring in protection or some kind of rule that if you're already over the line, you haven't got to worry about it, there's some protection in there. A good example of that was when they brought down the lifetime allowance for pensions. It's more a case that there might be an opportunity for clients. They were hot on the phone because that means more business for us. The green box there, that's probably my most favourite behavioural box. Some of you might have heard of behavioural economics. They were talking about the raw emotions that we go through when we're making financial decisions. And that adds a lot of value to a client that we can kind of step in. There's a box in there called the Don't Do That service. Say that quite a lot with clients. The most common one is, I'm going to sign my house over to my kids to avoid inheritance tax. No, don't do that. I've mentioned that here before. Clients phone up because a famous fund manager has left Schroders or Invesco Perpetual and going to set up their own business. That's a big red flag. You might have heard of Neil Woodford, some of you. Lots of clients phoned up. They were going to follow him. Hundreds of millions of pounds followed this guy into his new firm, and he lost about half of it. He just believed in his own legends, started investing in things he shouldn't do, or investing too much into those things he shouldn't be investing in, and it didn't end well for clients. Most of my clients took heed and didn't follow him. One client put about £100,000 in there. He's lost just over half. So that's the Don't Do That service pops up quite a lot, and it saves a lot of anguish for most of the clients. The orange section covers everything else. The one that draws my attention, that top one, the someone who cares. And even you think that's a bit cynical, but does he really care? Come on. Even if you're that cynical, our business model, the way we get paid, is aligned to the client's portfolio. So if you don't really believe we care, and you think we're just in it for the money, then if your portfolio goes down, we don't earn as much. So if you think that, we've got an interest in making sure we do the best job that we have for you. If you want to turn the page, this is a topical discussion I'm having with clients because the market's all over the place. We've got Russia and Ukraine, inflation worries, recession worries. And so sometimes clients will phone up and they're a bit nervous, and the common discussion we have with them is like, it isn't different this time. The circumstances leading up to this downturn in the markets might be different. But what the market's doing, it's going to bounce back, and it always does. COVID, it bounced back really, really quickly. You can kind of see that sharp dip towards the right. We're in a similar situation now. It didn't fall quite as fast, but it's fallen quite sharply. We don't know when it's going to recover, but recover it will. And it always does. And it will recover and then carry on again. And as to why I do what I do, having someone give you their portfolio or give you their money to look after is a great responsibility, I think. And I'm always grateful when people put their trust in us to do that for them. And so I see what we do as being an immense privilege. And that bit might sound corny, but bear in mind the responsibility we have in looking after people's money, whether it's a few thousand or a few million. It's really important to them, really important. And so we have to take that job seriously. Even though I might laugh and joke here, it is a role we take very seriously, and it really is a privilege. Questions?
The unfortunate crisis that is unfolding in the Middle East, do you see that having a negative effect on the markets as it is found to be protracted?
Well, as far as the Middle East is concerned, we've been there before, haven't we? And it rears its head every once in a while. So in terms of how the markets react to it, it's not the first time it's happened. Russia-Ukraine is different because it hasn't happened on that scale. Well, there have been issues in that region historically, of course. But that had a much more profound effect because of oil, grain, and other supplies. So what's going on in the Middle East, as devastating as it is, we've all seen the news, in terms of what it's going to do to investments, at the moment we don't see it as being a huge issue, which of course is the right way to look at it, but that's what clients ask us. Yeah. Check.
So some people are risk averse,
Yes.
and others are the opposite. The ones that are not risk averse, do they do better?
Over the long term, no.
Ah.
They just have an easier ride along the way. So they don't get hit so much on the downside, but then they don't get as much of the recovery either.
So if you're risk averse and playing safe, long term you won't do as well as the others who.
No, you wouldn't expect it. But time frames are really important.
Right.
So I could, if I wanted to, you can manipulate the graphs to tell the story you want to tell, which is why we always show lots of time frames, and so a client really get to get to the behaviour of a portfolio.
So an older person might be more risk averse, less time to
Yeah,
play.
I mean, say a typical example is say you're really a madman in terms of risk all the way through your working life. We often say to clients that actually a couple of 5 years before retirement, maybe you want to dumb down the volatility.
Right.
Because the last thing you want to do is 6 months before you retire, there's a massive world event and you lose 30% of your portfolio.
Thank
Um, how would you convince a young person, not an oldie like me, but a young person just starting out in their career to take investing and pensions seriously?
Oh, there's a thing called the cost of delay. And I haven't got the figures here, but let's say you're 18 years old and you start putting £100 a month into a pension. And that's projected to give you that much when you retire. If you were to wait 10 years before starting to get that same retirement nest egg, you have to put a lot more than £100 in, a lot more. So yeah, £100 might seem a lot when you're 18, but it's not going to be 500 quid. Or, yeah, that makes a huge difference.
That's good. Actually, they're very similar. So I was just thinking like a 20-21-year-old, the last thing they think about is their pensions. But we all know, we all started contributing too late, and we want something better for our kids. Is there, if you just said to a young person, even if they've just got left uni and just got a job in Starbucks or whatever, is there a percentage you should be looking to, okay, put 10% of your money or put 5% of your money away, would you?
Not really. I would say just do something. My first job, I was earning £500 a month. So I thought, right, 100 quid a week, and I'll put 100 quid away. And when you're that age, 100 quid a week, that's amazing what you can do with that. You're still living at home, you haven't got to pay for anything apart from Friday, Saturday night. That's what I started doing.
And if there's not a workplace one in, everyone does now, don't they?
Yeah, unless
start their own ones, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And there are pensions out there even for pretty good like things, or maybe less, yeah. But yeah, just do something, absolutely.
Howard.
When is it too late
Last
to
one.
start pension?
Never. Never.
Really?
If you put money in today and retire tomorrow, that money you put in today will get taxed, so you'll be better off from the tax at the very least. So yeah, absolutely.
Right, Howard, thank you very, very much indeed. And whilst you're up, it's time for the referrals and testimonials round. We'll start as usual with an author corner. Howard, if you can do the running. Thoughts?
Yeah, well, now, as always, thank you, and well done again, Ben. Referral from last week for Shane, and Ben is a beach. Ben had a one-to-one Clara last week, and a thank you for
Thanks for that, Howard. Very interesting, and thank you. Yeah, I love that. A similar sort of thing with my team with the good disc profiling then, but fascinating actually if you can work out other people's. And that's the key. But, excellent meeting. Thanks again, everyone. We're split.
I just got a quick one for Scott. Hero Fitness Instructor.
Thank you.
It's a basic website.
Yes.
Got a very good opinion like that.
Just going to run you through Jane, which was from last week. And good 10 minutes, thank you.
Remember how it says demonstrate to start a pension? I might think of that.
Well, hats off to a very colourful meeting. I've been working on that one for the whole meeting. No, great, Ed Scott, love it. Brilliant, brilliant. And we're going to be having a chat anyway, and you've done some stuff for us in the past. So, yeah, great. It's always really interesting to hear the data and the behavioural trends behind things. I have a one-to-one with Leanne later. And a referral to Blake, which is great. Lovely to see you all. Hello, to meet you. And welcome.
Good evening. Morning everyone, great meeting. Lucky it's always colourful, love a rainbow. Great 10 minutes. Can I grab you for 2 seconds afterwards? I've got a referral for Jane because I want a non-fairy chocolate cake. One for Scott.
Nice.
For a one-to-one.
Wait.
One to Scott. For a thank you for the money for Nathan, Joe and himself. And that's me for this week.
Thank you.
There you go. Oh, I'm not in it.
Oh.
I'll see you later.
Last week you were concerned, what am I going to say? I've done this so many times. It was really great. Thank you. Always learn something when you present, so really, really good. Love coming to the meeting and receiving stuff. I've got holiday travel documents, and I've got nerdy air stuff from there. So thank you. Thank you for all of those. That's great. Yeah, that's a
I hate it when I have a client and I ask them to get something ready for me so that I can progress them out of it, which is what I'm doing to Howard at the moment, who is very patiently waiting for me to do something that I'm still probably a month away from doing.
Really? It's a bit annoying.
Well, context is everything, but I can thoroughly recommend how we've dealt with him swapping clients as well as dealing with our own personal affairs. And as I say, I think we should be able to get out there and find him some more clients just to keep them busy. I have a referral for James, which I will therefore not need to trouble you with. And I attended the Synergy Team meeting, which was, yes, small but perfectly formed. Very nice, actually. It was very good. As always, you always get something out of it, and we did. So, thank you very much for that. Thank you all for your attendance today, and let's see if we can get a few more people in for next week.
Howard's brilliant as well. I think once I've moved, I'll have a little bit of thing that I might have to put into investment, so I might have to have a little chat actually, because otherwise I'm just going to spend it, to be fair. Yeah, probably go on wine. Yeah, probably maybe if you can make me more, that'd be. But no, absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. And lovely to meet Sharon as well. Hopefully, just see you again when Charlotte can't come along. So yeah, thank you for coming down. And Jane, I might need one of them, not for the team that we did, but just for me, really, because I don't like Christmas cake, so that looks like it, really. So, and Rosemary, we're catching up over the weekend as well, I think. We've got a one-to-one there, a proper one-to-one actually now with Mike. And a referral there again for James, my brother's health and possibly their home for their unusual property. But yeah, great meeting to see you next week.
Great meeting. Good start. Nice to see you, Sharon. Really good 10 minutes. I'll keep my eye out on people that are moaning that they've got money but they don't know what to do with it. but you give it to me.
That job in wine front needs topping up.
I've got to thank you for the money to Brian and to the 70 meeting too. Yeah. And I've got a one-to-one for David. Can't mind needs some electrics. I mean a referral, sorry. Thanks for see what it's been.
Well done, Ben. It was quite that. It's lots of work. Fantastic. And as ever, brilliant. How really interesting, really informative. Very much enjoyed it. I have one very not official one-to-one with Ben. We had a chat to Ben.
Thank you.
And the only other thing, ex-member.
That's what I just gave you. You can't be that later. You might.
Oh, is it? Oh, yes, I'm using this one as notes. You can't have that. Ex-member Paul DeLue got in touch the other day and hopefully it's possibly doing quite a nice job for the company down in London. So thank you.
Yeah, great. It's like, I think I'm probably purple. So. Great 10 minutes. I've looked to use Howard more, so if you all want to make me a millionaire, I can invest with Howard. Just a bit more business from my way, isn't it? I've got to apologise to Howard as well. Your fan for your DVR was meant to be here, but the courier company what did you say? Couldn't find, no one was available. So I've had to order it again, because we don't know where it is now. And if they don't respond, it will be on the videotape next time which courier company it was. I've got a referral for Stuart. And I won't be here next week because we're in Barcelona. Working.
Great meeting, great excellent. Again, I don't know what colour I'm quite am, a bit purple maybe, somewhere along the lines. Fantastic education, 10 minutes, sorry. I just want to say a little bit of testimony for Howard. I spoke to Howard during the week on an urgent matter in a bankruptcy about a person's SIP. Howard picked up the phone immediately, came back to me, answered the questions, put it out to his group of people that he gets further information from, and came back with all the answers to help me out, which was fantastic. So thank you very much for that. If anyone hasn't used Howard in the past, then I recommend him highly. Referral for Terry, who's not here. And Dave, we need to do a one-to-one. I want to get something down, but I'm going to do that this week. See you all next week. Thank you very much.
Right, great meeting. Brilliant. Thank you. Great 10 minutes. I would like to sit and chat with you, and I think I've got someone I can refer to as well. Yeah, love to see you. Nice to meet you. Great to see you all. See you next week.
Thanks. Thanks for calling me alone. Yeah, I need to catch up with you. I did talk to you last week. I'm not actually going to be here for the next couple of weeks because I'm going on a work trip and a holiday to Brentwood. So I will be checking out some lovely hotels and I'll give you all an update when I'm back.
If you need a bag carrier, just let me know.
So I've got a referral for John. I did speak to you about my son's alarm. So if you ring him, just keep ringing him because he's useless. I ring him and I'm sure he sees Mum come up and it's nice. And one for Ben that we've already talked about. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Well, I enjoyed that. I am not mean, I can tell you that. I mentioned spreadsheets, that got us right off. I enjoyed that very much, Howard. It's very inspiring, very reassuring, very interesting. Well done. This is a one-to-one with Clara last week. She came over, scones may or may not have been involved. Thank you for the money to David. Do you prefer Dave or David?
Either, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Thank you for money to Howard. Thank you.
That was nice.
Was it?
Yeah.
Which one did you have?
I had the chocolate.
Oh, chocolate.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you for the money to Paul. Thank you very much. Paul's synergy meeting, does he get that
Why not?
Thank you for taking that. And this is one for today's Synergy meeting, straight afterwards. Don't you shake your head at me, young man.
Very kind of you to say, young man. And next week for that one.
All right.
Not included this week.
Put it on hold.
That's it.
And I enjoyed today very much. Thank you. And well done. She's in terrible trouble finding us.
Yes.
In the dark, in the
All right.
rain.
Oh my gosh.
You did well.
Thank you. Yeah, I got terribly lost. I did 4 wrong turns, or I missed 4 turns. So don't ask me how. I really hate driving in this country. Thank you so much for having me today. You guys seem like a great group of people, so
Well, it's
a
nice.
pleasure. It's a fun meeting. Howard, I felt the presentation was great, and I'm sure we'll have clients that we can refer to. So I look forward to working with you. And yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Don't sit down.
John Hammond. Well, one of these is for Toby. I own one, so he was really at first choice, but so easy. A nice convenient one of
Right, Howard, thank you very much indeed for your 10 minutes. Thank you for doing the running, and thank you for everything else. And yes, inspire the flurry. I thought I had a bonnet. Never mind, John, enjoy it. I'm not proud. Right, and Jane, if I think you are probably all of them, which means sort of dirty brown. We approach the end of the meeting, but as always, I throw it out to the floor. Mike.
This is actually not for me, but for Jane, who sent me an email the other day about a lovely achievement she's made.
So sorry.
I said you made a lovely achievement the other day, didn't you? You emailed me about, and have kept you nice and humble about.
I kind of did. So Google says we've had 1 billion views on our TikTok account.
Wow.
Yes. They can't all come for tea at the same time. Thanks,
Anybody else with anything they want to announce?
Sorry.
You're afterwards. Yes. Yeah. Scott, I think, as the hat connoisseur and principal provider, is as well as awarding points for those of us who had the best spring hat, is going to make an award for the best hat. Give it to yourself. You can perhaps let us know later if you can't make the award now, and as it does involve you, probably think about it.
I think someone who actually manufactured and produced their own branded hat.
Yeah.
Probably got to go to Blake, really.
Yeah.
For having one produced, so 1 extra point for Blake. Well done.
You've heard that Blake and John are away next week. Could we make special efforts to encourage those who were not here today to get them along for next week? Make sure we have a good turnout for next week. Let's see if we can get any visitors for next week. Yes, so.
I've got a potential visitor next week. A couple. Oh, good.
Right, excellent. So with that, I'm going to send you out into the world. It's a bit dismal and dull, but we'll see how the day goes. What I do hope is that I'll see you all next week with a really nice meeting. I'll see you then.